Hey guys, it's Mather here once again, and with my next build I've decided to tackle yet another replica item, but this time it's just pretty basic one. There's nothing too special going on. It looks a little underwhelming, and it is the Replica Tempestuous Steel, and I had to bust out my good old friend Double Strike with Vile Double Strike, aka the boys, to make it happen. So the weapon itself has damn near no damage on it. It's like 40 DPS or something, but it's got 30% LE penetration, it's got 15 fizz as fire and lightning, 90 to or about 100 crit multi with one-handed weapons, a little bit of attack speed, and then a shitload of reduced accuracy. So the idea is to stack enough flat physical damage throughout the build and Double Strike itself to then feel like you've got real weapons and reap all of the rewards of the 30 extra LE pen, the extra fizz and fire as lightning, fizz as fire and lightning, sorry, and also the big crit multi. So in the end, we've got a character here with about 750 crit multi, pretty decent one taps, pretty decent single target DPS thanks to Vile Double Strike, and then a little bit of okay clear speed with Ancestral Cry, which is one of the new war cries that only really works for some strike skills without multi-strike. So I don't currently have multi-strike, and you don't really need it while mapping for the most part, unless you really get your attack speed up and going, and then are happy with using multi-strike in your setup. I have yet to do that. So we're just running around and basically doing a single slash to clear a pack most of the time. I'm not running Ancestral Call almost ever, so this is just one additional strike and then the War Cry, which lets us have a bunch of extra additional strikes. And it ends up being a pretty decent playstyle. We've gotten to level 91 or so before doing any real serious content, and just absolutely annihilating bosses because Vile Double Strike is pretty much king of single target for us pleb skills and budget builds. This is still 5 liter gaming that you're seeing this entire time. The entire character itself hardly cost a penny because the weapons are cheap, the chest does nothing, the helm is just an abyssus with, you know, no enchant. Pretty much nothing here is super expensive, and not even a 6-link. And yet the single target is still pretty crazy, and we're doing good things with that. I'm also bringing out an ascendancy that we haven't seen in a long time, and that happens to be Slayer. And the reason for that is I kind of wanted to do Champion, because that would be a good way of fixing accuracy on the character. You know, cannot have the enemies evade, but the problem with that is you still need to have the initial hit happen, so you would technically most of the time still want to scale some accuracy, so you're not really saving too much there. And I also wanted to do some impale stuff for the extra fizz per impale sort of shenanigans, but that is unreliable and also an extra side piece of scaling that I decided to not do, because once I saw Slayer, I realized I could get my crit up by about 50% from 5 to 7.5. I could get 50% accuracy from one of the nodes with some good weapon range, and then there's a lot of other stuff from Slayer with more damage to uniques, or single target rather, cull at 20%, some attack speed, movement speed, stuff like that. Overall, it actually is a really solid, tight ascendancy for pure damage on a build like this. It's giving us a lot of DPS and a lot of value, and Slayer is not at all the wrong move here. And if you really want, you could, I think, completely respec one half of the ascendancy into the leech nodes and just become quite a bit thicker, but that has yet to be an issue for me, and I have not done that. So that's kind of going to be an option that you can utilize if you want to, but even with Abyssus, with so far our kind of defensive and offensive setup, almost nothing is getting in our way, and the single target's rocking on pretty good. The heists are going not too bad. It's a bit clenchy from time to time if the right things are on the other side of the door, but haven't failed one yet. And then, yeah, so far, so good. So I want to show you guys how I've built it thus far. So here is the current character, level 91. Here's your next build, Quinn. Just a little bit of a joke between friends, you know. And the build we are or revolving around, is Replica Tempestuous Steel. Fuck off, dragon. And it's only a little bit different from the regular version. So the regular version has hits can't be evaded, but it does not have that crit multi. So this has the penalty of 100% reduced global accuracy, but also has the benefit of that 98 crit multi, and the other one has currently 94 crit multi. It's not quite worked out how I thought it would, because we don't really value the elemental that much. Since we're kind of like half fizz, half elemental in the end, and the penetration is only really coming from the swords, so we could still use more penetration to really be a truly elemental and sort of a conversion build. So I haven't actually converted anything like I thought I would. I thought I'd be like, oh yeah, mostly fizz to ele conversion, but instead it's kind of just played out where we're sort of fizz, it's not really worth converting, and then just having a bunch of extra ele as well. As you can see here, decent fizz, bit of lightning, bit of fire, bit of cold, and we scale off of the double strike gem as long as we bleed something. And then we've got a bunch of flat fizz coming from Hyri's Truth, which is a replica as well. Pretty cheap, pretty effective. Abyssus has some flat fizz, a little bit of flat fizz there, a little bit of flat fizz there, but primarily it's the double strike gem and the Abyssus itself. So the way we negate the reduced global accuracy rating is by increasing global accuracy. It's that simple. Basically, just even the implicit on this sword itself is 40%, so it already counters 40 of that minus 100, and it's really only 60 reduced global accuracy rating. So all it takes is just taking some accuracy nodes, and with the sword side of things, there is plenty of accuracy to be taken, but you just need some global accuracy across the board. So we got some there, we got a bit of accuracy over here, which is just flat. I think you got some accuracy here, a little bit there, a little bit there. We've anointed that, though I might get rid of it since I'm running combs. A little bit of accuracy there, and then you try and get some little bit of accuracy from gear, so we got some there, some on the ring, and also this big Slayer node has 50% global rating. So then Slayer's also giving you plenty of like area damage, huge crit over here. So instead of the base crit being 5, it's now at 7.5. Real good stuff here with the single target damage, and then the 20% cull. And like I said, these are the two important nodes really, so you could get rid of these and go these. You'd still have decent damage, but obviously this is like damn near 50% if you've killed recently and are against a unique enemy. So it's pretty powerful. Otherwise, it's built just like a regular sword tree. Trying to get a decent amount of life and crit, and got the exerted attack, sorry, the additional strike here so that we don't have to run Ancestral Call to Arms, just so I can run around and mash Ancestral Cry whenever I want. But for single target or for boss fights, you use your Enduring Cry instead, just for extra thickness, so that's pretty good stuff too. But otherwise, it's pretty basic, I think. We're only on a 5 link, just grabbed a temple chest, which cost, I don't know, fucking nothing. Grabbed a couple of rings. This one has minus mana cost on it. If obviously you can't buy one like that, you can just buy a pretty shitty ring and then craft minus mana cost from Erion. No big deal. But we don't really even need it, since I have taken the little mana leech node to make our mana sustainable. Otherwise, yeah, pretty crappy ring. Some Combs Roots just so that I can boost my life a bit and also never get stunned. A belt, which is pretty basic, but I Hunter influenced it and then tried to craft it as good as possible, and we landed on this, which is really nothing special, but is what it is, and that's where we landed. These are Temple Gloves, so they have that little bit of extra crit with the lightning roll, but you're looking for some accuracy, some attack speed, and that's it. So our links are Double Strike, Close Combat, Melee Fizz, Awakened Melee Splash, which is just a level 20 version of a Melee Splash, unless it gets leveled up, but at the moment that's all it does. And then Anomalous Ruthless, which is just a little bit more attack speed. Up until I was ready to do a lot of this, I did use Ancestral Call so that I could hit things more frequently and more often. And as well as that, I was running a chance to bleed for most of the leveling of the character, since bleeding is pretty important for our physical damage to get added from double strike, and also some good flat fizz there. Otherwise, we've got a hatred coming from the Hyrie's Truth, running Leap Slam, Fortify, Faster Attacks, Ancestral Protector over here, Herald of Ash, Warbanner, Vitality. That kind of just helps cancel out Abyssus with Blood Rage, Ice Golem, Ass Mark, and Enduring Cry, Ancestral Cry, Second Wind, and Dash. That's all there is to it. It's a pretty basic sort of character. I'd say the best way of building a double strike is easily still going to be Impale bullshit, chuck a Savior on. You can have a look at my Berserker double strike from a couple of leagues ago for that. Insane character, and double strike is still a very strong build. This one, however, doesn't really need like an explosion chest or anything, since we do plenty of cold, have Herald of Ash, stuff like that. But double strike, still quite a potent skill. Can make any of your shitty weapons really good, and in this case it's an attempt to make Replica Tempestuous Steels a bit less than just a meme, but ultimately if you've got like 400 DPS swords, they're going to be better, and that's just how it is. But we don't have 400 DPS swords, we've got fucking 2-seat weapons, and we're making them work, and it feels pretty good. So hopefully in the next video I've got some good single target for the end game, because I think we'll be able to take on our content, hopefully, and have some smooth sailing from there onwards. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.